Hi students. Today's topic is exchange of gases. Exchange of gases is mainly dependent on diffusion. What is diffusion? Any gas from the region of higher concentration to the lower concentration is moving. That's called as diffusion. In the previous sessions we already discussed, isn't it? So this exchange of gases, let's discuss now. Breathing and exchange of gases. Here is the exchange of gases, very important topic. Clear? So I told you that lungs are the main respiratory organs. Oxygen is taken to the nostrils, nasal chambers. Next one, pharynx, larynx, trachea. Next one, bronchi, bronchioles. Within the bronchioles, the primary, secondary, tertiary, and terminal bronchioles. That is from the external nostrils up to the terminal bronchioles. It is called as the conducting chamber, conducting part. We have discussed. Next one is the respiratory bronchioles. Respiratory bronchioles. Then divides into the alveolar ducts. Alveolar ducts, and these ducts ends into the alveolar sacs. And what is a sac? Sac means a bag-like structure. I told you, bag-like structure. So the respiratory bronchioles, this one is called as the actual respiratory part. Respiratory part. Because the respiratory bronchioles and leads to which one? The alveolar ducts. Example, this is the alveolar duct which leads into the alveolar sac. This is the duct, for example, and this is the alveolar sac. Sac means a bag-like structure within which numerous alveoli are present, like the bunch of grapes. So these are the actual alveoli here. So the lungs contain, the human lungs contain as many as 300 million alveoli. 300 million structures, microscopic structures called as alveoli, where the actual exchange of gases occur. Respiratory exchange of gases, taking in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide, that is called as the exchange of gases, and that precisely happens within the area called as the alveoli. Literally, how many are there? 300 million approximately are present in the human lungs. Clear? So let's discuss here alveoli. Here alveoli means plural. Alveolus means a single. Alveolus means a single one. Is it alveolus means a single one? That is a singular, isn't it? So let's discuss from this background what is the exchange of gases and how this is actually effective. So here is the alveolus. Alveolus. This is the alveolus. And this is the alveolar cavity, alveolar wall of the alveoli. Alveolus here, alveolar cavity. Okay, and here is the atmosphere outside, isn't it, bacho? Atmosphere, that is oxygen. What is the partial pressure of oxygen here? The partial pressure of oxygen is 159 mmHg. 159 mmHg. The atmosphere here. This is the atmosphere. In the atmosphere, the partial pressure of oxygen is 159 mmHg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is just 0.3 mmHg. 0.3 mmHg here. Now use the word the partial pressure. Partial pressure. What is meant by partial pressure? The pressure exerted by an individual gas in a mixture of gases. That is, many gases are there like this. And for example, this is a particular gas we are discussing here. This is a mixture of gases. For example, what is atmosphere? It contains a mixture of gases, isn't it? Many gases are there. In this one, what is for example, this is the oxygen. What is the pressure of this individual gas? What is the pressure exerted by this individual gas here? What is the oxygen? That is what is the partial pressure of the gas. or this is indicated by PO2. What is the PO2? The partial pressure of oxygen. P, small p, O2 is the partial pressure of oxygen here. Likewise, partial pressure of carbon dioxide. That is, what is the pressure exerted by the carbon dioxide in the mixture of gases here called as atmosphere? What is that? 0.3 mmHg here, bacho. Clear, students? So here, and this is the alveolus, because here we are inhaling, that is taking in oxygen, that is inspired air. Inspired air here, that is taken in air, inspired air or inhaled air. Okay, what is that? Oxygen. Okay, and here is a expired air, that is, or exhaled air, expired air or exhaled air here, that is called as here carbon dioxide, and here oxygen. So taken inside from atmosphere, and what is the partial pressure of oxygen in alveolus here? That is 104 literally mmHg. mmHg here. This is the alveolus now. Partial pressure of oxygen in the alveolus, that is alveoli, here is 104 mmHg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg. Okay, students. So that's a partial pressure here. So here, see here, the oxygen is having more partial pressure. Here is 159, here is 104. The partial pressure of oxygen is more in the atmosphere, whereas lesser when compared to this one, the lesser in the case of alveoli. This is 104 mmHg. So basing on this one, what happens? There is a diffusion from the higher concentration to the lower concentration here. That is why oxygen is taken inside, basing on this law of diffusion here. From the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Here 159, here 104 here. Like this. Next one is carbon dioxide, exhaled air or expired air. What is that? Here outside atmosphere 0.3 mmHg, whereas in the alveoli it is 40 mmHg here. That is higher concentration to the lower concentration here. Diffusion again here. Exhaled air or expired air here. Clear, students? Next one is when this is the alveoli present in the lungs, isn't it? That is oxygenated air is supplied by the lungs into the heart. Oxygenated air is filled by the alveoli here, which are present in the lungs, and to be supplied to the heart. That is a crucial organ here, isn't it? Let's hear what happens here. Let's discuss. Clear, students? All of you. You are ready? All of you? Take the notes. You have to take the notes. That's very important. Just listening and going away, it's not the right thing, isn't it, bachon? All of you ask the doubts in the comment section below. Okay. And here, these are the pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins. Anything pulmonary means which one? Related to the lungs. So which is supply the oxygenated blood. This is carrying the oxygenated blood here, bachon. I will draw with the red one. Red marker, because this is the oxygenated blood, isn't it? So this is the oxygenated blood here, bacho. Oxygenated blood. Why it is oxygenated blood? Because it is carried from which one? Alveoli of the lungs, isn't it? So this is the oxygenated blood carried by the pulmonary veins. Clear, students? And that is supplied to which one? The most important organ here. What is that, bacho? That is called as the here heart is present, and here is a chamber called as the left atrium. What is this one? Left atrium of the heart. Left atrium. That is the left atrium is now having the oxygenated blood. That's it. It's very simple, isn't it? Because it is carried by the pulmonary veins from the alveoli of the lungs. Oxygenated blood is supplied to the left atrium. Clear? And that is now supplied to which one? That is the next one called as the left ventricle. What is this? Left ventricle. What is this one? Left ventricle. Okay, a little bit bigger it happened now. Left ventricle. So this left ventricle now contains which one? Oxygenated blood. That is here the left between the left atrium and the left ventricle there is an aperture called as left atrioventricular aperture. To this left atrioventricular aperture means an opening. The blood is going and now moving to which one? The left ventricle. The left ventricle now contains the oxygenated blood here. Now let's discuss other parts. So these are the tissues now, and this is an indication of tissues. I'm by drawing here. So these are the representation of body tissues and cells here. These are representation of body tissues and cells. It's a heart, left atrium, left ventricle, and this is a right atrium. Right atrium and the right ventricle. Right ventricle. So from this left ventricle which contains oxygenated blood now, this is the oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood is supplied by the greater artery here called as aorta, which is arising from the left ventricle. That's called as aorta. So the aorta which carries the blood here, which arises from here, this part, this is the aorta. So this aorta supplies the oxygenated blood to the different body parts here. This is the oxygenated blood. So this is the oxygenated blood here. So here is the aorta, systemic artery here. Systemic artery. This is the systemic arteries. Systemic arteries. The systemic arteries which are arising here from as a result of aorta, because aorta is arising from which one? Left ventricle. Then it divides into the systemic arteries, then capillaries, and supplies the oxygenated blood to the different body tissues and parts here. Clear, bachon? So here is a submission after metabolism. For example, here is a cell, individual cell here, the body tissues contains the cells. The cell is taking which one? Glucose, oxygen, water. Here metabolism happens inside, catabolism happens inside the mitochondria. Then after catabolism, what is released? Carbon dioxide, isn't it? And also ATP and body heat are generated. Here we are not bothered about this one, isn't it? So carbon dioxide is released here. Once it is released here from this one, here is called as the deoxygenated blood here. The blood is now having the carbon dioxide, and that is called as here deoxygenated blood or venous blood. So that is big by each one now. The different caval veins. Caval veins or systemic veins. Caval veins here called as a systemic veins. So the systemic veins are carrying this one. What is that? The deoxygenated blood. This is the deoxygenated blood here. I am drawing with the blue ones. This is the deoxygenated blood. And that is carried by the systemic veins. These are the systemic veins. Systemic veins. And to be supplied to which one? Which one, macho? Here, what is that? Right atrium. This is the right atrium, isn't it? That is the right atrium is having which one? The deoxygenated blood here. This is the deoxygenated blood which is supplied to the right atrium. The right atrium contains the deoxygenated blood. So from here to the right atrioventricular aperture, the deoxy blood is now moving into which one? What is this one? This is a right ventricle, isn't it? Right ventricle. The deoxy blood is moving to the right ventricle, from where the deoxy blood is now carried forward to which one? Here, another circulation is there. Here, that is straightly moving to which one? What is that? Here, again to the lungs for oxygenation here. So here, this is the deoxy blood is pumped forward into the lungs again for oxygenation. Through which one? Because the right ventricle, there arises another trunk called as pulmonary trunk or pulmonary arch, which arises from the right ventricle. So this pulmonary arch divides into which one? The two arteries called as the right and left pulmonary arteries, and which carry the deoxy blood from the right ventricle into the lungs again for oxygenation. Clear? So here is the deoxy blood is carried forward here. Deoxy blood is carried forward to the lungs for oxygenation here. That is precisely speaking alveolar here. So this is the lesser circulation but shown here. What do you have to see here? This is a lesser circulation, that is carrying forward the deoxy blood from heart to the lungs and taking away the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. That is called as the pulmonary circulation or lesser circulation. Pulmonary circulation or lesser circulation, and this is a greater circulation bacho, that is which is concerned with the body parts here. That is from the, see here, this is the body part, isn't it? That is which is the left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood from the heart to the different body parts. And next one is after catabolism, this is called as deoxy blood from tissues to body organs from different body parts. The caval veins or systemic veins are carrying forward which one? The deoxy blood from different body parts, the right atrium here. These ones, and these ones here. That is these ones here. This is called as a greater circulation here. This is called as a greater circulation. This one is called as a greater circulation. This works. And this one is called as a lesser circulation here. Lesser circulation. So this one, lesser circulation is called as pulmonary circulation, and the greater circulation is called as a systemic circulation. Two circulations are there. Likewise, pulmonary respiration. This is called as here the pulmonary respiration, and here the systemic respiration here. Systemic respiration here. As in big case here. Okay, students. So this is moving. How this is affecting here? How this is possible? How the exchange of gases occur? That is a major discussion now. So basing on this diffusion here, I told you that atmosphere contains a partial pressure of oxygen is 159 mmHg and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 0.3 mmHg. Basing on this one, oxygen diffuses from atmosphere into the lungs here, and here in the lungs, that is here alveolar capillaries, alveoli, partial pressure of oxygen is 104 mmHg and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg, and the oxygenated blood is moving here in this circulation here. See here these ones carried by which one? Systemic arteries carrying which one? The oxygenated blood from the which one? The left ventricle. See here these ones as it move here in the body tissue here, the partial pressure of oxygen is less when compared to the alveolar here. It is moving here 95 mmHg now. 95 mmHg here. The partial pressure of oxygen at this location is 95 mmHg and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 40 mmHg here at this location. And it is out now supplied to which one? The body tissues. At the cells, the metabolism happens, isn't it? After which, what is released here? The carbon dioxide is released here. That is, at the tissues, again, the partial pressure of oxygen is very much lesser. What is that? How much is that one? 40 mmHg. And the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is more when compared to this one here, which is 45 mmHg here. In the tissues, because when after catabolism, what is released here? Carbon dioxide is released here. That is, at the tissues, carbon dioxide partial pressure is more. The amount of carbon here, isn't it? More carbon dioxide is released from the cells after catabolism, after oxidation of the glucose. So the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is more here, 45 mmHg, and the partial pressure of oxygen is 40 mmHg at the tissues. Now it is picked by here. This is called as here deoxy blood, isn't it? Deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood, the partial pressure of oxygen is again the same. That is 40 mmHg, and the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is also same, which is 45 mmHg. Basing on this one, this oxygenated deoxy blood is moving forward here into the right atrium, from right atrium to the right ventricle, again to the pulmonary arch, then to the here like this. So basing on the diffusion and the partial pressure of here gases only, or the concentration gradient of the gases only, this diffusion of gases occur, respiratory gases occur here, basing on the partial pressure of gases here. So what is the most important factor for the exchange of gases? The partial pressure of gases. The partial pressure of gases is the most important factor here. Now let's discuss what are the different factors. The factors affecting the rate of diffusion, the rate of exchange of gases, the rate of exchange of gases. What are the different factors which affect the rate of exchange of gases? That is oxygen and carbon dioxide. First factor we have discussed already. What is that? Partial pressure. Partial pressure of gases. What is the partial pressure? I told you the amount of here, the pressure exerted by the individual gas in a mixture of gases is called as a partial pressure of gases here. That is the foremost important factor for the exchange of gases. But show what is that? Partial pressure of gases, which is also called as the concentration gradient of gases. Concentration gradient of gases. That's first factor. Second factor is the solubility of gases. Solubility of gases. That is how much of soluble nature is there for the carbon dioxide or oxygen also determines the rate of diffusion of gases. Rate of exchange of gases is also determined by the solubility nature of the gases. Okay. The rate of here, that is solubility of carbon dioxide is 20 to 25 times more than oxygen. It is given directly in the NCERT lines, which all of you refer this point from NCERT, okay, class level. So carbon dioxide is 20 to 25 times more than the solubility of oxygen. So the amount of carbon dioxide which diffuses through the diffusion membrane or respiratory membrane is more. In which one? Carbon dioxide. All of you listen carefully. The amount of carbon dioxide which diffuses to the respiratory membrane is more when compared to the oxygen. How much? How many times? 20 to 25 times literally more. That is the solubility of gas of carbon dioxide is more. And the exchange of gases of carbon dioxide is more because it is 20 to 25 times more soluble than oxygen. The first point to remember here, the first factor is the partial pressure of gases or concentration of gases, concentration gradient of gases. The second factor is the solubility of the gases. As the carbon dioxide is having 20 to 25 times more solubility than oxygen, its rate of diffusion across the respiratory membrane is more when compared to the oxygen. Clear, students? That is the second factor here. And the third factor is the thickness of respiratory membrane. The thickness of respiratory membrane. The thickness is also the most important. In NCERT, these three factors are given as most important ones. So I am discussing these most important factors here. The first factor is the partial pressure of gases. Next one is the solubility of gases. And next one is the thickness of the respiratory membrane here. What is that thickness of respiratory membrane? Let's discuss now. So thickness of respiratory membrane also determines here what is the thickness. Let's discuss now. As you know, these alveoli are the actual precise points where the respiratory exchange of gases occur. That is, alveoli are present in the alveolar sacs, isn't it? And I told you that as many as 300 million alveoli are present literally in the human lungs. So these are the actual sites of exchange of gases. Its thickness is lesser than All of you note this point. Lesser than 1 mm thickness. 1 mm thickness here. Less than 1 mm. It's very, very lesser thing, isn't it? Its thickness is very much lesser. It's lesser than 1 mm thickness. What is how this is formed? Let's discuss now. So here is the air is moving here in this direction. This is the alveolar wall. Alveolar wall. Because we are discussing here single alveolus. That's why alveolar wall. And this is the actual cavity. Here called as the alveolar cavity here. Alveolar cavity. Actual lumen or cavity. This one is. And air is moving in this direction. And this is alveolar wall. And this is a capillary. Alveolar capillary. Alveolar capillary. Alveolar capillary. So this is alveolar capillary is having which one? The endothelium. This is a endothelium here. This one is a endothelium. So here are the RBCs present. These are the RBCs. So RBCs inside the capillary. And this wall is called as here endothelium. Wall is lined by the endothelium. Tissue called as endothelium of the capillaries. Endothelium. Which consists of endothelial cells. And this is the actual alveolar wall. Alveolar wall consists of this is squamous epithelium, simple squamous epithelium. This is a single cell thickness, simple squamous epithelium. This one which we are drawing here, single cell thickness. So simple squamous epithelium. So it consists of squamous epithelial cells. So it is a single cell thickness here present in the alveolar wall. This is the alveolar cavity. Here is coming. This alveolar wall consists of which one? A simple squamous epithelium. A single layer of simple squamous epithelium are shown here. And see here, this one, which I am drawing here. This one is what is this one? Alveolar capillary. What is that? Alveolar capillary here. That is, it's connected with the circulation here, isn't it? So here is the endothelium. Here is the endothelium of the capillary. And between these two, there is a gap, isn't it? What we can see here. And that is nothing but the basement membrane. What is this one? The basement membrane. Basement membrane. But this entire structure is not even 1 mm thickness. I am drawing here lamba choda. But here it's not even 1 mm thickness here. This is even more lesser. But because for sake of easy clearing here, easy seeing, I am drawing here more wider, but this is very, very thicker here. It's very, very thinner. So what is the structure which is present between the, and here, this was squamous epithelium and this one endothelium. There is a basement membrane present here. That is 1, 2 and 3. That is 3 layers are there. This is called as the respiratory membrane. The respiratory membrane is formed of the 3 layers. What is that? One is a simple squamous epithelium of the single cell layer present in the alveolar wall. Other is the capillary endothelium. Capillary endothelium. Between these two, what is present? The basement membrane. 1, this is 1, and this is a 2, and this is a 3 here. Three are there, and these three layers they form the respiratory membrane. That is the thickness of the respiratory membrane, which is not even 1 mm thickness. Because it is very much thinner, there is an easy diffusion of gases occur. Oxygen is taken into the capillaries, and carbon dioxide is given out into the alveoli here, easily here. Why? Because it is not even 1 mm thickness, bachcho. So this thickness of respiratory membrane is also one of the factors which affects the rate of exchange of gases. The first factor is partial pressure, the second one solubility of gases, the third one is called as the thickness of the respiratory membrane. The fourth factor is also there here, but these three factors are given in NCERT here. That is the surface area. The surface area of the respiratory surface area also determines here, and the fifth factor is the distance of diffusion. The distance of diffusion. These are the 5 factors which determine the rate of exchange of gases here. Respiratory exchange of gases, oxygen is taken inside and the carbon dioxide is given outside. Okay, students.